Oh, what's up, Unscripted Family? This is your host, Lafayette Lane, and I'm here to bring you another awesome, incredible week of Off Script. This week, I want to talk to you about enjoying the journey. Before we get into the topic, before we get into the conversation, I just want to say thank you to all of our supporters and let you know that this episode is sponsored by patreon.com/unscripted leadership. It is because of your support, your contributions, that we are able to bring you exclusive content weekly and daily, all because of your support. If you're interested in supporting the show, being part of the Unscripted Family, the Unscripted Squad, you can do so at patreon.com/unscripted leadership. Now let's get into the episode. Listen, we've all been in a place to where we have goals in mind, we have a vision in mind, we have a destination in mind, honestly. I believe we all have been given purpose by God. And sometimes we get so caught up on the end goal, trying to reach the finish line, that we tend to not enjoy the process, not enjoy the journey. And that's what I want to talk to you about, simply enjoying the journey. There's a quote by Thom Rainer. He's one of my favorite authors. And he says, "You eat an elephant one bite at a time." I'm going to say it again. Thom Rainer says, "You eat an elephant one bite at a time." In other words, you cannot complete the journey all at once. We've all heard the famous quote, the famous saying, Rome was not built in a day. And a lot of times we hear this word now, burnout. The reason why we're becoming burnout is because we're trying to simply finish the goal, finish the task, finish the assignment, without understanding that you will not feel satisfied in the completion of the assignment unless you enjoy the journey and the rigor of the assignment while getting to the completion of it. I'm gonna say it again. You will not enjoy the completion of the assignment until you learn how to enjoy the duration, the rigor, the journey of the assignment. There is no satisfaction in just getting a thing done. It has no meaning. It has no weight behind it. It has no feeling of I've accomplished something unless there was struggle attached to it. Unless there was some friction, there was some troubles, there were some roadblocks, there were some withstanding, there was some distortion, there were some disturbances. Enjoy the journey. Man, I'll never forget, while trying to finish school, it felt like it took me forever. One of the reasons was I had a lot going on. I was working full time and doing ministry and still trying to complete college. And many days felt very overwhelmed, just thinking all the time in my mind, if I can just finish. And I was wearing myself out because I was focused on finishing instead of focusing on what I was learning during the journey of getting the degree. The whole object really is not about finishing. It's about enjoying the journey. Because the reality is, I heard someone say that when you finish, what's next? Then it's on to the next thing. And so now that you've got the degree, now what? What I've learned in 2020, hindsight is always 2020. Looking back, is that, man, I enjoyed those days of going on campus. I enjoyed those days being able to sit in the cafeteria with my books open and study. I enjoyed those days and having collaboration with my fellow colleagues and listening to the professor, learning new things. That was the excitement. It's awesome having the degree, but what is more than the degree is the experiences, it's the journey, the things that I've learned, the things that built me to be better. If you're always in a rush to finish, you'll miss the lessons along the way. What's more important, the finish or the lesson? Because the reality is that sometimes if we finish a task and we barely get through it, the likelihood of having to repeat the same course is higher because you didn't learn what you needed to learn. In other words, you're underdeveloped. You just skated by. You just got by. Enjoy the journey. Every single day. I don't care whether it's weight loss, if it's getting out of debt, if it's building the business, if it's working on your marriage, being a better parent, being a better person, being a better pastor, being a better coach. Enjoy the journey. We don't know how long that we're going to live. We don't know how many days, how many years God has given us on this earth. And I understand the importance and the vigor and the wherewithal to have that awareness that I don't know how many days I have to accomplish my purpose. So I'm trying to finish. But at the end of the day, God intended us to enjoy the journey along the way. I'll say it again. God intended for us to enjoy the journey along the way. Stop rushing. Stop being so in a hurry. There's a speed, there's a pace to grace. There's a speed, there's a pace to finishing the race. Everything is not a sprint. You have to learn that this time I have to walk this out like a marathon. And sometimes you've got to not just lightly jog, not just lightly run. Sometimes you got to learn how to walk it out. And those are the times in your life where you really are in a hurry to finish. But I promise you, if you learn how to walk, if you learn how to pace yourself, if you learn how to take it easy, take every step, take every stride, take it in pace, you will reflect back, you will look back and say, the journey was well worth it. I feel so much more accomplished now because I enjoyed the journey. I was not so in a hurry to just finish. Because again, I'm gonna say, after you finish, you gotta ask yourself, now what? It's on to the next thing. It's on to the next agenda. It's on to the next dollar. It's on to the next goal. It's on to the next assignment. It's on to the next task. We're always moving on to what's next, because we're in a finish mindset instead of a journey mindset. Hear me clearly today, family. Yes, you are supposed to finish. And I'm here to push you to make sure that you finish, that make sure you complete. But while you're in the mode of finishing, while you're on the journey, enjoy it. Because you'll look back, we've seen Tom Brady this week, 22 years in the NFL. He says, listen, it went by like that. One thing about Tom Brady, he was always on to the next Super Bowl ring. They would ask him after he won his first ring, what do you think about? He said, I'm thinking about number 2. After winning number 2, what do you think about? I'm thinking about winning number 3. And now after winning 7 rings, now what? I've done everything. I've got every record. I've got the most completions. I've got the most passing yards. I've got the most touchdowns. I've got the most Super Bowl rings. Now what? Now that I've finished my career, now what do I do? As he looks back, I wonder if he'll think to himself, I should have enjoyed every year a little bit more. I should have enjoyed the locker room a little bit more. I should have enjoyed my teammates and the camaraderie and the bus rides a little more. I should have enjoyed practice more. You finished, but now what? Enjoy the journey, family. You're going to get there. You're going to finish the task. But what good is finishing if you don't enjoy the journey? Have a blessed week.